Welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 for another week. The storm season, I feel. So, currently fine weather, which is good, because this is rear-wheel drive. But it is a Porsche, so that means good grip. So we're hoping to make our way through the field of other classics in order to win, oddly, a Koenigsegg. Go figure. Oh, and we're getting completely slammed from the side, as always. I hate starting from near the back, and I hate the first section of the race where you just have to fight your way through everyone and put up with all of their shenanigans. I've always thought it weird that they don't tailor the rewards of the festival playlist to the theme, so like we're winning a Koenigsegg CC80s, which is like their first hypercar that they produced. And yet we're racing like retro sports cars or something. Seems odd. I think at the very least it could be like Swedish cars or something, and what you choose dictates the class of the race. At the very least race in like retro supercars to set the stage for winning a hypercar. Well, I do know that if I finish third, I just then have to win the next two. So that might just have to be good enough, unless I can like slam them on the corner or something. No, not going to catch up enough. Gotta cut these corners really well to get ahead. We can rewind as much as we need to. Ah, they're forcing me out, they're just blocking me. That's so annoying. Okay, well second. Second we'll have to do. Ah, he was playing defense, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay, this time it's raining. This might be trickier. Could adjust the tire pressures, but I don't know. The main thing is just fight our way to the front quicker. Hopefully they will also struggle more with their rear-wheel drive when I've at least got the engine over the back, good grip. The important thing is just to get to the front and not get blocked out by all the other drivers just trying to stop me. Or at least, if I can get ahead of the Cobra that won last time. Because the important thing, much as I like to win every single race, the important thing is to win the championship, and that just means beating the guy who came first last race. I mean, if in doubt, I just need to gun it into the corner, and if I crash out, go horribly understeering, then, or spin out, I just rewind and try again. Abuse the game mechanics as much as I need to. I do like to not rely on them though. Oh, okay. Or we hit a tree. Who put that tree there right in the way? That is one thing I'm having to get used to with switching from playing Forza Horizon 6, because in 6, with some few exceptions of like special trees, you can pretty much crash through everything else. If you're just blasting through a forest. You don't have the same issue here, like you try and go through the jungle, every other tree is one that you can't actually break. So it just stops you in your tracks. In 6 you can just pretty much just go blasting through the countryside. It's only once you get to special cherry blossom trees and stuff. Those you can't. I'm not sure which I prefer, to be honest. Like, the whole destructible environment thing is a little bit strange. I like to think of it as these are all just theme parks, just giant theme parks that have been put together somehow in a particular area, and everything you see that looks like it's just people's houses and stuff is all just fake. It's all just set dressing. It's the only way that it actually makes any amount of sense, that you're allowed to just blast around destroying everything. But we've managed to avoid destroying ourselves, and won this one handily, which is kind of what we need to do. This and the next one, though I think that the Cobra wasn't even coming second this time around. So that should buy us a little bit of extra leverage. Right, greasy surface, not actively raining this time. Oh, we've got the Halo music. Nice. Always nice to have a spot of drama. Thankfully, this race, this section in particular, they always seem to do the corners way too... I don't know, follow the corners way too close to what they are on the map. And you really don't need to. You can just take a line straight through them all. So, of all the races, this is actually a really easy one to get ahead really quickly. And then you've just got to not muck it up through these corners. Now we have some genuine corners and then pretty sharp bend at the end to get back to the home straight. So it's a short track. But once you get ahead, probably braked too much there, but good angle for going through the second corner, which is more important. Sometimes you go through this first one slower. It feels kind of bad, but if it sets you up to get a good clean acceleration out of the next one, then that matters a lot more. When using a controller, I do find it a little bit difficult to do the whole brake and turn. I never feel good about braking and turning at the same time. It more often ends up in a skid. So it's like brake, get the power on a little bit as you're turning. What have we got here? Ah, 50 knots, so slower in the end. Felt like a better lap, to be honest, but never mind. Okay, yeah, our best lap was like 7 seconds faster than anyone else's. Okay, a bit one-sided. And we get our 2002 CC8S. And that's important because the weekly challenge requires you own and drive the 2002 Koenigsegg CC8S. Only 6 ever builds. I did not realize it was that exclusive. Okay, well I think I have 2 of them now, so how does that work? So let's hop on in. Yeah, sure enough, that's the new one. We already have one that we've tuned up to 895. Maybe we use the pre-tuned one? Take it out for a high-speed run, maintaining a speed of 322 km an hour or above for 10 seconds. So unquestionably the best place to do any high-speed shenanigans is going to be just on the motorway. And just pin it. Try not to hit anything. And we can get up some speed and near-miss skills as we go. Wonderful. Record breaker complete. Excellent. Well, I'm not finished building my combo, so check back with me in a minute or so. Okay, we're up to 10. We don't need to push it harder. Here's the ramp up here, though, to be fair. Can we get a jump and not land on something? Okay, good. Now let's let that finish, eventually. Right. Well, what was it? We needed to get a show-off skill in a road race, I think? So I don't actually have to win or anything? Though I will generally try to do so anyway. Okay, I might not be able to. Okay, I've got to be able to pass people and drift at the same time, so... well, we've also got to not just crash. This is going to be difficult to pull off, I think. Okay, I do get a drift. There we go, show-off skill. It won't actually tell me until after the race that I've achieved the goal, so... But I'm fairly sure that should count. I'm fairly sure I only needed 1. So now let's see if we can actually... Well, winning might be a stretch because a lot of these are Lamborghinis, which are all-wheel drive, which will be much better when it's raining. And, I mean, this is from 2002, it's not the most modern car here. It's possibly also tuned more for straight line speed rather than cornering. So, this is probably going to be a bit tricky. We'll try and weave our way through as much as we can. We've got another show-off skill for good measure. This bit here we can cut a few corners. Here we need to remember to actually brake at least a little bit. Here we can kind of slide our way through. We just clip the flags, and that's actually good enough. We can take a lot of constructive liberties with the track line there. And now... just a little nudge there. I don't know what this is in front. I do not recognize that silhouette at all. I'm going to take the line for the corner, so there. It's often the best way to get past, is just steal the line. And then just hold it together, drive a bit defensively. And that worked out better than expected. Alright. Didn't need to win, won anyway. Doors to a door complete, excellent. And from there I just need to go and take a picture at the coffee shop, which is all the way back the other end of the motorway. So I guess maybe we find our way back there. I'll see you back there in a second. And we can see the drone show. Sharp corner of the end. And we want to take a picture, I believe. Oh, also there's an arcade over here, that's funny. I don't know if we need to do an arcade. I don't think we need to do one for this week. I should check though. Let's just head on in. Crunch. Let our score bank. Good. And take our picture. It really doesn't matter how we pose this, we're not going to save it, but that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now, you know what? Hide UI. Now I can take a screenshot. It's weird how it doesn't show up on here, like they don't factor in the weekly challenge for the bits here, but we do also have a Mustang Boss at the Player Azul mural. I think that's the one by your house. While we're here, I believe we needed to do like an ultimate burnout. Well, this is a rear-wheel drive hypercar, so great. Awesome. Ultimate, there we go. Coffee and donuts complete. Perfect. Oh no, says someone. Hope they're okay. And I spy with my little eye another seasonal championship on the bridge here. Linear Costera Sprint. Feel the hype. So is this hypercars now, is it? Yes, hypercars. S1 900. In fact, I could just use the one that I'm racing with now? Was this how I was meant to get the road racing show-off skills without having to do anything else? Yeah, probably. It's technically not recommended, it seems, but then nothing says recommended as such. I mean, I think probably the Lamborghini is better. Well, I guess we can try and find out. You know what? It's a championship. Well, this one's actually better. 8.4, but with a couple of the 10s. Okay, we'll go with this. And being the championship, we've got 3 races. If this one doesn't work out, or we feel that it's very difficult, we can always swap out for the next one. And this is where we should be able to leverage the better handling, acceleration and stuff, except unfortunately it seems that everyone else has the same ability. Right, now we've got the tricky cornering section through here. This is really heavy. This doesn't feel good through the corners. Maybe we would have been better off with going with one of the others then. We're going to have to really cut some corners to make up some places, I think. Time to play fast and loose with the flags. Feels cheap, but it gets me the win. All we need is just one wheel on the inside of the flag. Okay, we don't need a break through there anyway, so I don't know why they did. Escape the line. Thank you very much. Much as I don't like the fact that I'm kind of flagrantly abusing the racing lines compared to what the computer players tend to do, they do also start me in like 8th place or something, so I don't feel that bad about it. So interestingly, the only other of the type of car I was using last time, the 2016 Aventador, came last. So that might be a clue that it wasn't the right car to use. This is a tighter circuit track, so we'll swap to that one that had the lower top speed, but slightly better handling and much better braking. Immediately got bogged down by the way that they kind of cut in and then don't let you turn, because they just keep turning against you. So we'll just have to use some of their own tricks against them. But at least being a circuit race, we do have the usual case of, okay, learn the track, fight our way to the front while learning the limits of the car, and what the track allows for, and then have a couple of laps to just solidify, or possibly still catch up. I believe this corner, if we go wide, we don't have to brake too much for. Yeah, and then we can just accelerate through. We take that better than they tend to do. This one needs a decent amount of braking though. Okay, we came through that one pretty good actually. Nice. Now this is where they brake, but you don't really have to. So that's good. Now we do the over before we loop back around to do the under. Out of the way. Muscle our way through. My car's heavier than yours, I'm fairly sure. I was thinking, oh, this one doesn't have a wing on the back, so, you know, what's the deal with the lower top speed? It has one that rises up. It's one of the ones that doesn't have the custom wing on the back. It's got the stock one that actually rises up when need be, which is neat. Still feels a bit heavy through the corners. That's pretty common with all-wheel drive though. For the all-wheel drive cars, it is really important that you do go nice and wide, brake plenty, and then accelerate through the corner instead. A little bit of a slide, not actually the worst either, because that does allow you to kind of point your nose in the right direction before you put the foot down and get the acceleration out. Right, a bit sloppy through the final lap, but doesn't matter. We were just playing defensively at that point. Alright, let's stick with this for the final race as well. Reservario Sprint, I think, has some high-speed sections, but also has a fair bit of cornering along the reservoir. Blasting straight through the centre of town first. Brakes. Oh, we didn't even hit any power poles. You're welcome. It's a rare day indeed that I go through the town without breaking something. Yeah, now we start getting twisty again. So I don't feel bad about having chosen this as my weapon of choice. Here we go, in the lead, and now we just need to hold it together. We can brake pretty aggressively so long as we're very defensive on our lines. I do wish sometimes that, you know, there's a drift tab. If you drift and tap the back of your car on the wall, you get a drift tap skill. It also feels like a love tap for if you go wide and just knock the wall on the way out, but not so hard that you take damage. So, well, if you're going to incentivize me in driving badly with drifting through a race, you could at least incentivize me with oversteering as well, or understeering rather as well. There we go. That was fairly straightforward at least. And with that, we are halfway there in terms of our seasonal rewards. We've got the VW SP2. What do we have next? So the next thing to go for would be either the event lab for the Mustang that I need for taking a picture of, or the other seasonal championship, which gives me the Nissan Pulsar, which is used for the PR stunts events. Right, finger on the Pulsar, let's get this Nissan. Pulled out the old Volvo, because we only had like 4 choices for this C-Class Classic Rally. The problem is going to be, can we catch up? We seem to be severely lacking in power and acceleration. That's a bit of a concern, because I feel that this track is a little bit of a nemesis of mine. I've had issues with it before, I think, because you're fighting to catch up the whole way, and then at the end, you pretty much just have a few corners and then the finish, and if you're not ahead by that point, you are just screwed. So we've got to really make it count through these bits here, and just cut these corners as much as possible and not get stuck behind anyone who's going slowly. And I mean, if we just get third, I think just have to be happy with that. So everyone was braking a lot more through there, and maybe that was smart, but it wasn't too bad on the out of the corner. I'm just getting stuck behind people again. We've got the hill climb switchbacks up here, which I never do very well with. We just somehow get inside people. Just take those corners earlier. And then we've just got one more stretch with some straights. Run wide on this to try and carry a bit more speed through. And yeah, this is the stretch where we have to make up all of the ground. And hope that we can outspeed the others. We go wide there, cut back across, go through here. I hate that I had that collision. And now we've got to brake really hard. We're not going to catch him, I don't think. Once again, we're going to have to be satisfied with third, looks like. I was thinking second would be nice, but third just might have to do. Now, if this was a time trial, I feel that we'd have done better, but because we had to fight our way up from like 8th place, that's just the way it goes. I don't have a car that has a good tuning for this, it turns out. I mean, it was another Volvo Turbo that came second. Ford Escort's a good choice, it seems. I don't think I have one of those, or if I do, it's not tuned. But the Volvo seems like it's not a bad choice. It's just not optimized for this. Okay, let's try the Lancia for this one. It's a twistier circuit. This is supposedly better acceleration. We're starting on the road at least. And of course, everyone is screaming past us despite us having supposedly good acceleration, as is always the case with the AI in this. I don't get it. What does that rating even mean if it just means that everyone still out-accelerates us? Okay, this is very squirrely. Because it's wet. I tried lowering the tyre pressures, we'll see if that helps at all. But it's not feeling great. That always seems to be the way, it's just that the two that start up the top just run away with it. So I'm going to be playing serious catch-up over the next couple of laps. Let's try cutting our way through these corners as well as we can. We're going to turn a little bit before the crest on that one, because going over the jump, funnily enough, hard to turn when you're in midair. So we're almost back up to like parity with them in terms of our starting position. Ready for them to run away with it again. I mean, I feel I'm closer. If I can do well through these corners, well, that's a pretty big if, but they tend to brake a lot for this one. Like, I was cutting the corner here and catching up on the rest of the pack earlier. Yeah, so we do gain through there. Yeah, excellent. Okay. And now we're going to overshoot. And then fall behind. We've got one more lap though. If we can just do that again. We got one of them. At least temporarily. He's right there. I can hear him buzzing like a mosquito in my ear. Yep, he's right there. But okay. We just need to do the same thing, but much better. I really hate this whole start from the back business in these games. I've mentioned it before. I will continue to rant about it ad nauseum in future as well, because it just feels really bad that the way that they tune the difficulty, or an aspect of how they tune the difficulty, is simply you start further back. Now this is the section that I should catch up again. Seems I do have a better speed, or they brake more. Maybe I'm just crazier. That's entirely probable. Yeah, I think I'm just more insane than they are. But this is where I lost it last time. And we'll lose it again this time. Can I push him out? Now I've pushed him offline. Maybe we can make this work. Maybe. Oh, it is so close. Now he's going to take it away. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, now he's running over there. Okay, so we've got to go back and we've got to do that better. That's how crazy this is. Like, okay, he was doing really well on the off-road section too, and yet now we're on the road, we're on the asphalt, why is he doing just as well here, right? Usually it's one or the other. And it seems I'm just crap on both. So that doesn't help. So it was this bit here, I ran into the wall, lost a lot of speed. So we were ahead at this point. Hard on the brakes. There we go. Take that corner a lot better. I mean, that's a lot of my problem, just comes down to how I'm taking corners. Even that wasn't great. Barely touched the inside of the flag there. Skid way too much through there. Now we just have to race defensively. Ah, and he's right there again. Okay, no, never mind. It seems that we've got to... Oh, do that. Push him out line. Make him skid. Okay. Dirty, but it works. I don't care. We got there. Okay, let's see if we can brute force our way to another victory with the Lancer again. Everyone just goes zooming off, right? Why? I do not understand. It'd be nice if you could just compare cartoons of everyone in the starting group. But I don't know if that's an option. Am I going to break too much through here probably? Yep, good, good, good. Yep, lean on them to get around that corner a little bit. A little drift tap there. Now, we really need to try and hold together here. This corner is going to be the tough part. I think I might break too much there, but it's probably better that than crashing into the wall. Great skill chain. Watch me lose it on the corner because I go into the wall. Oh good, it banked. Can we outperform this guy through any of these stretches here? This is really hard. And then he's just running away again. I just don't know what else I can do against this guy. We've just got to outpace him on some of these sections here. Ooh, we did. Nice. Okay, we managed to hold that. Now we just need to be defensive. Another high speed section here. If we're able to just exploit our advantages through some of the corners. Go nice and wide through there. Go through a skinnier section of the water by doing so. So we don't get slowed down too much. It's the thing with those water traps. Sometimes there's a line through them that is shallower. Not always the case. Right, and now we just hold it through the S-bend, which we don't actually really need a corner for anyway. Oh, missed the checkpoint. Alright. Too eager. A little bit too eager. We need to cut this corner a little bit more, ideally. There we go. Whew. That should be enough, because we'll get 4 points more from the win. There we go. We end up 6 ahead. Of the Stratos instead. The Escort actually was not in the lead for that one. Okay, all of that fighting to the finish and it didn't really matter, it turns out. Those are not Stratoses. Finger on the Pulsar. And as we often find, we actually already had 2 Nissan Pulsars. And in fact a third that I've already tuned up to be B-class, which is what we need for the PR stunts. So this then I guess is one I prepared earlier. And we'll take this through the speed zone. Get a bit of a run up from the other road. Try and cut this. Go a little bit wide, over the crest. Cut this in. You can cut some corners, but you will get penalised. It'll fail you if you go too far up the road. That's pretty good. 169. Is that enough? Yes, season objective complete. Fantastic. Now I believe the next thing is a speed trap. Somewhere in this direction. Right, cross the river and hang a left. Now let's try and get a bit of speed up. I'm not sure if this is the best direction to approach or if we should be coming from the other side. We get a little bit of a turn, but we can kind of cut it. Okay, just aim for, there we go, 165. That doesn't look like it's enough. 28 k's an hour more. Ooh, okay. Right, so we have more of a run-up, and it's a bit more downhill from this direction. So let's do it right the way back here from the road. And gun it. And does it matter if we're on the road or not? Probably not. The important thing is getting a pretty straight run. So we need to be like 190 or something. So don't skid, basically. Or hit things. 190. There we go. It's gold this time. Good. Lose the bonus. That isn't what matters. Another super wheel spin. Now, next stop, danger sign. So for this, let's get a nice long run up. Follow the road, try not to skid because that just loses speed. Try not to hit too much, that also just loses speed. We want to be going as fast as we can. Ideally into like the 180s or something. Not sure if changing into 6 was a good idea because the ratios aren't the best. This looks good. 214, hey, it's gold. There we go. Excellent. So I think the treasure hunt will be the next easiest thing to do. Runway strip is what you'll need with jungle all around. Go and hit 200 miles an speed with cars that make no sound. Okay. Electric car, runway, speed. Easy. So if in doubt, this calls for the Rimac, and this is one I've tuned up so it's like 998. It is as good as it can get. There we go. Treasure challenge complete. Oh, and it's this way anyway. Well, I can't do this and not do the danger sign at the end. What are we up? Over 450? Oh, even got to maintain a speed of 250 mile an hour or more for more than 10 seconds. Whee, the map is glitching out. That is almost a kilometer. That's insane. Alright, now we need to get back over the other side again to find the treasure chest. And I bet it'll just be somewhere on the beach or down by the rocks. Probably over by the rocks. Hiding in the cove? Yes, that's got to be the most pirate place to put a treasure chest. Fantastic. And while we're danger signing, let's get 3 stars off the event horizon danger sign. Go slightly to the right, hopefully. Hopefully this will land. Not a great jump, but that should be far enough, right? Yeah, there we go. UPB. Even though we landed sideways. Alright, time to pull the old Beamer out of retirement for a track toy event lap race. Oh, this is a squiggly one. 3 laps of it? My fingers are going to be sore by the end of this. I can tell that right now. Oh, this thing doesn't corner nearly as well as I had hoped. Okay, that's a worry. Given that this is all corners. I might need to just pop the e-brake a little bit just to spin the tail round because it's gripping too much. Maybe the spoiler? Overkill. I'm starting to think. It's a case of, yeah, actually, I want the tail to slide just a little bit. So I guess if I make it slide, then I've got the spoiler to bring the grip back in line. Yeah, I might have been overdoing it, but hey, we're ahead. That's all that matters. Now it's just staying ahead, excuse me. I said it's just staying ahead. How rude. Can't you see I'm winning here? On the outside of the stadium now for a little bit. I mean, credit where it's due. This is good use of the space. This is using a lot of the stadium to make this, and it is like a proper track. I think it was something karts. It's like a go-kart style track. That makes sense. We are not in a go-kart. We are in a BMW, but yeah, minute 30 just to do a lap. That's a bit rough. We then have to do 3 of them. Feel for the length of this lap too would have been better. Oh well. Again, we're ahead. We're pulling out a lead. There's not too many ways that we can screw up terribly, so should be seeing you at the finish line. Right, and coming over the finish line, fairly unremarkable, as the track position suggests. And it was good at cornering. I sold it up the river to start with, but it was just me not judging the corners very well. With that, we win the 69 Mustang Boss, which we need to take a picture of real quick. And conveniently, oh, went down the wrong driveway. We need to take a picture of it at our house, basically, because we happen to have this mural. Just like that. Take a photo of the 69 Ford Mustang Boss 302 at Player Azul. Fantastic. So we weren't going to include anything for the Horizons Badlands or Hot Wheels DLC content, because I mean, there's just so much other festival playlist content that something just can't make the cut. You know, like most of the multiplayer stuff I don't bother including because that can take a while and take a few attempts. And the DLC stuff, it's like, you know, there's only one championship and one thing. It's a lot of jumping around. But the Badlands one, pulling out the old Lancia Delta Integrale, that I think was like one of my first cars that I bought and tuned up in this game, getting the opportunity to pull this out again. And it's been some of the funnest races. This is now the third of the championship, so missed out on the first couple, I'm afraid. At first I thought, oh, this is going to be a grind. We don't need to include all of this. But it's actually been a hoot, and it's been some of the easiest racing, which, you know, helps. Not been having to fight through the field quite so much. Helps that it's just like the B-class of car anyway, which is, I find, the most fun to drive. You don't feel as just edge of your seat. I'm sure a lot of people disagree and prefer to just go super fast, but I don't know, I like it when you have a bit more time to think and plan and actually have to execute your cornering. So we do this, and we win a... something? I can't actually remember. What do we win? We'll find out together, because I've forgotten. Volvo Turbo. So in a great fit of irony, the Volvo that we just won is actually the very Volvo that we started our festival playlist journey in the dirt racing, in the Baja, before we swapped to the Lancia. So this is kind of a good capstone in many ways. Now we've got to be able to keep it an average above about 104 or something. I'm not optimistic, I'll be honest, on our first run, but maybe we've got a good run out of this at least. What are you up to? 108? There we go. Gold. Fantastic. And with that, we have finished another season, Storm Season in the bag, 75 out of 75 points, and we've plundered the Forzathon shop for anything we want. Summer also 75, we are halfway on the series. In fact, we're 2 points away from getting the final reward of the series anyway. The 8 is because the Rivals events count for each subsequent season already, so we get 4 free points per season as soon as you do those. So it's good to just get them out of the way. And then next week we start on winter with the Mazda MX-5 as the prize and a Nissan 370Z as our Take It Easy as the weekly challenge. Fantastic. All that and much more next week. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you then.